Hello everybody, welcome back, and our next section now is going to be about getting started with Python for data science. So let's go ahead and start. So first of all, let's think about why we're using Python. Well, first of all, Python is extremely popular in the data science field. You'll basically see Python mentioned everywhere, and it is for a good reason. One of the best things about Python is that it's designed to be relatively easy to learn, even if you're new to programming. The basics of it are incredibly straightforward. So let's just talk about why it's so easy. Well, that's just because of the vast number of libraries that it offers. Well, what are these libraries basically? Well, think of it like having a toolbox already filled with exactly what you need for all your data science tasks. Let's go ahead and explore what all of these are. First of all, we have pandas. If you've ever worked with spreadsheets like Excel or even just tables, you'll feel right at home with pandas. Pandas helps us work with data organized in rows and columns. It makes it very easy to clean, explore, and manipulate that type of data. It uses something called a data frame, which is essentially just a superpowered table. Next up, we have NumPy. This library is the workhorse for performing mathematical operations on data, and it does it very fast. Data science often involves lots of calculations, of course, and NumPy provides efficient ways to handle numbers, arrays, matrices, and other mathematical operations. Just think about it. It is so fast, which is so useful when we're handling large data sets. Next, we have Matplotlib and Seaborn. These libraries allow us to create all sorts of graphs and charts, from simple line plots to complex statistical visualizations. I feel like seeing your data visually is often the best way to understand patterns, trends, and insights, don't you think? Now think of Seaborn as basically a building block off of Matplotlib. It creates a more statistical and aesthetically pleasing plot in a more mathematical way. Now, moving on, instead of diving into these libraries, let's dive into basic Python concepts that we need to know first. So, let's first go over data types. Now, data types are basically integers, floats, strings, lists, dictionaries. Let's go over what each of these are. Integers are basically just whole numbers that we see every day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on. An example of this could be if you're talking about the number of customers in a store. You would give whole numbers. You wouldn't see 5.5 customers in a store because you can't have half of a person. So integers are basically just whole numbers. Next, we have floats. These are basically just numbers with decimal points. These could be like average ratings. You could give something 4.3 out of 5, 3.2 out of 5, and so on. It's basically just decimal numbers. Next, we have strings. Strings are basically just text. These could be product names like paper towels, laundry detergent, or if you were wishing someone happy birthday, any types of sentences, paragraphs, things like that, those are all strings. Next, we have lists. These are pretty self-explanatory. They're just ordered collections of items. For example, if you want a list of the daily sales, you could go ahead and put that in a list of numbers. Next up, we have dictionaries. These are key value pairs like storing information about a product. For example, you could put name, laptop, comma, price, 1200. So we're able to connect two different things together. Next, we have loops and conditions. These are essential for making your code do repetitive tasks and make decisions. Now, let's go ahead and talk about loops first. Now, imagine you have a list of 100 customer reviews and you want to analyze each one. The loops will allow you to do the same thing over and over for each review without writing the same code for each of them 100 times. So you could just write one loop and it would go through each and every one of those 100 customer reviews with the same block of code. Next, we have conditions. Let's say you only want to analyze some reviews and you only want to analyze ones that have a rating above 4. So you could use a condition block. You could do if the rating is greater than 4, then analyze it, and you would code it that way. Next up, we have functions. Think of functions as mini programs that you can write once and just use many times. They basically take input, perform some actions, and can return outputs. They basically just help keep your code organized, reusable, and easier to understand. Think of it like a recipe. You give it ingredients, which are your inputs, it follows the steps, which is the code inside the function, and then you get your dish, which would be the output. So you could basically just create one block of code and just use it for different scenarios or items whenever you need it, and it's basically just reusable for whatever scenario that you need it for. You would put in an input, goes through the code, and out comes your output. So pretty simple when we're talking about the basic Python concepts. Now let's continue talking about working with pandas. Again, think of this as just your toolkit for working with structured data. The kind of information you often see in spreadsheets, like how I mentioned Excel or in tables. Now this is just an example of what it would look like while you're coding. First, you would import pandas as pd. This would always be needed on top when you are coding in Python. Next, we can see that we just have our data listed. It's the names of students, and then their math, science, and English grades listed once again in the data. And then you would go ahead and do df equals pd.DataFrame, data, and then print df. This is basically just printing out all of this data that you have. And over here on the right, we have the output, and you can see it is very nicely sorted like a table. It is very structured, as Pandas gives us. So we have all of the students' names with their math, science, and English grades perfectly organized. And you can see that Alice has 85, 91, and 79. And as you can see on the left, when we were making the data table, we'd basically put all of Alice's scores first so that they show up in the same row as Alice's name. So making sure that when you do your data and organize it, that it is formatted how you would want it to print out. And these are just some additional usages. Basically, for example, if you were to do df.head with parentheses, this would print out the first 5 rows. And so on. If you do df.tail, it would print out the last 5 rows. And these are just many different other ways that you could use pandas and basically everything that it incorporates. You can list out column names, all the data types. You can find the mean, median, and standard deviation, more statistical terms. So as you can see, Python really helps us in data science, and we're basically going to use a lot more of it. Thank you so much for watching, and in the next section, we will learn more about cleaning up data. Thank you for watching.